Everybody's coming for Ekin and Davide, guys. They are officially the most voted couple to be least compatible. Interesting. Hey guys, it's Morali. Hopefully you guys are all doing well today. Back at it again with another video. If you have not subscribed, click that button. It is daily and consistent content, consistent and persistent, baby. Inject it. And let's get straight into this video. So we have, the couple's last dates. Tasha and Andrew look very nice. Don't understand what they were wearing. It looked like it was greased lightning wear. Don't know what they were doing with those, outfits, but I think maybe they were dressing like Courtney and Travis. But nonetheless, the date was very nice, off the beach, with the heart-shaped roses. Gemma and Luca's date in the pond was okay. I think it could have been better. Gemma and Luca, I don't know what it is about them, but it looks like the date to me was very boring. Didn't see much chemistry between them. I think Gemma is somebody who is just very laid back, very emotionless, and when you have somebody like that, it's hard to connect with them as an audience member. And I just feel like, as they talk back and forth, are they forcing it? That's what comes across to me in how it comes across. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree. Dami and Indiyah got the least got no votes, the most compatible from what the people think inside, and they are officially in that finale. Inject it, guys. Now, if you asked me right after Casa Amor with Dami's actions, I was not pleased with Dami at all. I was not pleased with this couple, and I was absolutely not here for it. But the redemption arc that Dami has done has worked on me. The redemption arc that Tasha and Andrew have both done has worked on me, and my mind has changed as everybody else's mind has changed now, especially with Tasha and Andrew, and they are now in that finale. And of course, I want them in that finale, and I want them in the top 3. Them being voted, them not having any votes clearly shows that they are compatible. With this show, it's so crazy because we change our minds so much and go back and forth based on actions that happen of people kissing other girls or boys, running around casa, the way they have arguments and fights. You like them and then dislike them. Dami we didn't like for a while. Tasha we didn't like for a while. But the redemption arc has flipped on them completely. And it looks like, people like these two a lot now, especially me. My mind has changed on both of these completely, as all of ours do. And it just genuinely looks like Dami and Indiyah in that finale, and I feel like that is a good thing to see. They deserve to be in that finale. Dami has worked hard for Indiyah, and I think that Indiyah has always been herself, and I think that it's worked for them both smoothly to be in that finale, and I'm glad that they didn't get any votes, and that does make sense to me. I do think when it comes to Ekin and Davide being voted the most, it could be a strategic voting because maybe they know that they are liked a lot outside in the public, or they have an idea that they do. They don't actually know that Ekin is liked or loved so much on the outside. So it could be a vote that wasn't really necessarily needed for a vote. It could have been seen as a waste, and they could have voted for somebody else. I do think that Paige and Adam are going home. I've already gone home, to be honest with you. I just feel like that is the case. This means the final dumping is going to be on Sunday alongside the parents coming in. It's going to be a combination. Or maybe the parents will come in first, and then the voting will be last, and then they'll be dumped, and then there'll be the little ball. No, the ball thing is going to happen on Monday for the first part before the finale. So it looks like that's the way it's going to be, basically. And, I'm shocked that Ekin and Davide was voted the most. They're not as compatible. Davide has trust issues. He's holding back. That Ekin likes Davide more than Davide likes her. I think that Davide is just a character where he holds things back a lot and, not really resents Ekin for certain actions, but is just really scared of getting his ego hurt and really scared of getting his pride hurt, really scared of getting himself hurt by Ekin because she did that once when she was crawling around with Jay. And I think that's just in his mind a lot because he probably hasn't been treated like that on the outside with girls. So that just has stayed with him for a while, and we can see that. But I definitely think that Ekin and Davide are winning this. I want Ekin and Davide to win this 110%, and I want Dami and Indiyah to become second. That is just my personal preference. Everybody has very different preferences who they want to win, and I find that interesting. Molly May was talking about it on Twitter, on Instagram, and she said that she likes Tasha and Andrew, but is confused about Gemma and Luca. The Fiat 500 Queen has spoken. The Fiat 500 Ambassador has spoken. Could that cause a rift in voting? Who knows, to be honest with you, when it comes to the finale. But I don't see Gemma and Luca winning this now, based on the last 3 episodes and based on even Molly May speaking, and I feel like she has a huge influence over her Fiat 500 fans, 110%. But I do think that it is interesting that Ekin and Davide were voted the least. What is that all about? I didn't expect that, because everybody likes to see them to argue and get back together again. They argue, then they're cooking together, then they're cooking. They've had one of the most tumultuous relationships. Well, they've all had tumultuous relationships, to be honest with you. I do feel like Gemma has had one of the easiest and safest journeys on Love Island history. Never been in the bottom 2 at all. Never been vulnerable in any capacity. And her man has never wanted to flirt around with any of the other girls. Luca has stayed on Gemma throughout since he first wanted to be with her. So she really has had a very easy journey. She comes across to me very very emotionless, and I think that in itself is a problem. She's a stunning girl, but I can't think of one thing that she has done that is memorable for this season. So I do think that could work against her on the outside, because she can be seen as quite forgettable as other seasons of Love Island come on. And we know Love Island Winter is literally starting in basically 6 months. In January, we have the new season of Love Island. So, you know, I do think that she doesn't really do much for me as a person. Yeah, she doesn't. She doesn't do much for me, guys. She doesn't do much for me, guys. It's just crazy how the redemption arcs work for us as an audience. We didn't like Dami. I didn't like Dami with Indiyah, now that these lot can go home. And already now, the Dami has put in work, and that redemption arc has worked on me, and now I'm happy that they are in the finale. Look at the way the thoughts go up and down, up and down, up and down for them as a couple. Then we look at Tasha and Andrew. Thought Tasha was playing Andrew. She was in the bottom 3 so many times, and everybody loves Tasha, including me, and I really want them to in the finale, and I want them to be in the top 3. Like, the way it works, our thoughts on how everyone goes up and down is crazy. We're all hypocrites, but at the same time, we are all allowed to be hypocrites in terms of who we like and dislike based on new information being presented, and we're all allowed to change our minds. So we're not doing anything wrong. We're just looking at new information being presented to us as the days and weeks go ahead. So I do find just the way it works interesting. Like Chloe, I didn't like at the beginning of the last season, but in the last couple of weeks, I absolutely loved her and wanted her to even come second or even win the show. So it's bizarre how it works, but this is how it works. If you come in the show and you're disliked, or if halfway through and you're disliked, and you have enough time to make people like you, it definitely can work. And that is probably one of the most interesting aspects of this show, that just because you're hated at one point, you can be loved. Paige was loved at the beginning. Now a lot of people dislike her, also based on these girls coming out saying that she is making them feel unwelcome. So it's all very interesting how it goes. It fluctuates so much. Me, I will continue to change my mind every single other day, 24/7, and nobody's going to stop me. That's just how I am, how I've always been. I feel like we're all like that, and nobody should feel bad for it, because that's just how we feel as new information comes to our screens. Dami and Indiyah in that finale, and I'm happy to see that. I would not be happy to see. I would not be thinking that if it was right after Dami's Casa Amor actions. But the guy has put in work, and we have to hand it to him. Dami has put in the work for Indiyah and has stayed with her and has not swayed to any of the new bombshells like Natalia, etc., or Lacey when they came in. He stayed on Indiyah, and I'm glad that he did, and hopefully they are in that finale, but it works also on the outside as well. But them not getting any votes shows to us that, irrespective of editing or whatever people want to say, that people inside the villa see them as compatible, see them having a connection, see that, you know, Dami's actions were mad, but that he's put in the work. They see it themselves with their own eyes. Also, they also said they feel like, you know, Gemma and Luca likes more than Gemma likes him. So Gemma is emotionless, maybe she's just not that into him and it's being forced. The islanders inside who live with them day in, day out for 2 months are also regurgitating this information that we think from the outside. So, you know, interesting, guys. At one point I thought, is Luca getting a bad edit because everyone's coming out saying stuff, but also people also think that, you know, Luca is more invested in Gemma than Gemma is more it's so bizarre, because some islanders have said to me that Gemma is also as invested in Luca, but they didn't show it. But then why would some islanders say that Gemma is not as interested in Luca as Luca is into Gemma, who are in the show currently right now when it comes to the voting? I find that to be very, very interesting. Look at the way this show works. Tasha and Andrew and Dami and Indiyah weren't seen as compatible with Dami's actions and Tasha and Andrew's actions, but now they received the least voting, I believe, with Tasha and Andrew. Look how that works. Look how you can change yourself up in the show. Look how everybody, even we change our minds on the outside, they change their minds on the inside as well. And I find that to be intriguing. Ekin saying that, you know, will Adam go back to his old ways is a very good point, because we've seen him mess around with not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 different girls in the villa. Will he go back to those ways? And I feel like he will, and I feel like he's putting up a front for Paige and for the time in the villa to extend himself in the villa, because it's more time equals more coin. So I think that that relationship won't work on the outside, and I 110% feel like they are definitely both going home. Let me know your thoughts are, guys, when it comes to this video. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Click that button for daily and consistent content. We are literally going to be here for the finale. I'm going to be seeing some of you guys there, and I know some people are still asking for a 5th round of tickets, but I don't want it to be too big just for my own sanity, because I've never met my subscribers before in a large crowd. So this restaurant that I've hired out, it's just going to be vibes on vibes on vibes. I cannot wait to see everybody there, and I don't know, yeah, it's just going to be, there's going to be a few islanders running around as well who wants to come. Like, it's going to be great. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Click that button. It is daily and consistent content. Subscribe. Click that button, and I will catch you guys soon for another video.